I don't want to like waste anyone's time, and I don't really have like a ton to say about this, but there was enough that I wanted to hop on a call and record it, just because I've gotten so many questions about it recently. So basically, what I wanted to talk about is doing 3-2-1s. So the reason why I've had so many questions recently is because everyone does 3-2-1s differently. And I was on a coaching call with Sierra, and I was talking to her about 3-2-1s, and I was like, you know what, like my girls are doing these 3-2-1s, and some of them are seeing success from it and some of them aren't seeing success. And I'm like, I feel like I'm failing as a leader, and I'm like, what do I do? And so we were just kind of chatting about it, and basically like what I came away from the call wanting to share with you guys is that 3-2-1s are so different for every single person. So I have always taught, which is honestly like a failure on my part. So I've always taught you guys to do 3-2-1s the same way that I do them. Not so much like it's been a failure, like because some of you have seen success from it and some of you haven't, but the failure on my part is not explaining that you have to kind of find your own method for 3-2-1s that will basically like bring you towards your goals, if that makes sense. So let me just really explain really quickly. So when I'm doing 3-2-1s, I am liking 3 pictures, commenting on 2 of them, and I am most of the time responding to something they either have on their story or DMing them a picture and like starting a conversation. So when I do my 3-2-1s, I'm not so much looking to pitch the business as I am looking to basically just like, I don't know, bring new people to my page. So I'm basically doing it for like followers, if that makes sense, to like bring new people to my page. And not as much looking for like new market partners right then, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that as they follow me, which if I do 20 3-2-1s in a day, usually like 1 to 2, maybe 3 tops, people follow me. So I'm gaining like 1 to 2 to 3 followers a day just from doing 3-2-1s. And my hopes is that as I'm posting consistently on my story, which I do every single day, and I'm posting on my feed and I'm educating and providing value, those people who have followed me over time are going to be exposed to the business, exposed to the products, and then they're going to either, click on my poll, reach out to me, or interact with me in some way. So that way I can like eventually be like, hey, I see that you're interested in the products. Awesome. And they're like, yeah, I've been following you for a few weeks now or a few months now. And they came from a 3-2-1, if that makes sense. So that's how my 3-2-1s work. It's been successful for me, and I'm going to keep doing it the way that I do it because I do see success from it. But that might not work out for you, and that might not be what your goal is with 3-2-1s. So if your goal with 3-2-1s is to gain market partners like pretty quick, like for me, like I said, my goal is not so much to gain market partners from it, but to bring people to my page in hopes that over time they will either be business partners or VIPs, right? So if you're hoping to gain market partners from doing 3-2-1s, you might need to be pitching the business, right? And I personally don't pitch the business. And the reason why is because I have tried pitching the business. And for me personally, it does not work. That does not mean that it will not work for you, okay? So if you've been on any of the Evolve or Remain calls, if you've been on any of the basically any of the calls recently, this has been like a very like hot topic, I guess I would say. Jacqueline kicked off the Evolve or Remain like group, I don't know, like the group call or whatever, her very first call on the Evolve or Remain Facebook page, basically by saying that the way that she built her business was by cold messaging people. And she's like, I 100% stand behind cold messaging people. And like that's how she built her business. So there you go. Number 1 income earner in the whole entire company says that you should be cold messaging people, right? And like that just goes to show like everyone has their own way of doing things. So if you watch the video that I sent last night. It was very late last night. It was about Sarah Hill, who's another SED and $1 Million Club earner. She was just talking basically about cold messaging people. She doesn't believe in cold messaging people whatsoever. Okay, so there you go. There's another SED who doesn't believe in cold messaging. Jacqueline does believe in cold messaging. So you have to find what works best for you. Okay. I didn't want to hop on this call to tell you like, okay, this is what I do. This is what you should be doing. But I wanted to hop on this call to show you that there are so many different ways to do 3-2-1s. So if you're doing something that is not working, switch up your method. If you're doing 3-2-1s the way that I'm doing it, hoping to attract people to your page and no one is coming to your page, that's not working out for you, right? So you should probably switch up your method. Maybe you need to be pitching the business more. For example, here's another method to doing 3-2-1s. And Megan shared this in the January kickoff call in the Humble Hustlers Facebook page. So if you haven't watched that yet, it's a great call. You can literally just like skip to like where she's talking in the video. She talks for like 5 minutes, I think. And she basically says that she goes to like hashtags, location tags, all of those things that we've already taught you how to do, how to find people, right? She goes to those people and she's like, hey, she literally says like, hey, and then whatever their name is, and then she almost pitches the business, but not. I'll read you her message just so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find her message really, really quick. So she says, so like I said, she literally texts it. She says, hey, blank. So it could be like, hey, Maya. And then she sends this voice memo. She says, this may be weird, but I came across your profile on the Explore page and I immediately fell in love with your vibe and self-brand. Obviously, you're pretty active on Instagram and have a great platform to influence people. So I was wondering if you're already monetizing your social media or if it's something that you'd be interested in. Right now, I work with a brand on social media. They are a vegan beauty brand, and I'm looking to expand my circle with more genuine and ambitious women who are looking for change, wanting to grow their social media following, looking for another source of income, or simply wanting to work from home. If this is something that you'd be interested in, I'd love to chat with you more about it. But either way, I cannot wait to connect with you. Then she goes in and she likes their pictures. So she likes 3 pictures. She comments on 2. So that is like, technically like it is cold messaging, but it's not just like straight up like, hey, I think you're awesome, join my business. It's basically what she's saying is like, I'm looking to expand my circle of friends is basically what she's saying, which is so true. Like that's what we're doing in this business, right? We're a community of women who are looking to expand our circle of friends. And so that's just a whole nother method of the way to do things. Jacqueline also shared the message that she sends. If you go into the Evolve or Remain page and you listen to her call, towards the end, she shares the message that she was sending when she was building her business. So if you want to try that method out too, awesome, try that out. And then this is another whole different message as well that Aspen sends actually. So the way that Aspen does it is basically she does a 3-2-1. She responds to their story. She or maybe she DMs them a picture of themselves or a picture of a location that they went to, asks them a question, kind of starts a conversation. And then as soon as the conversation kind of dies out, which if you've done 3-2-1s, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So it'll be like, for example, maybe you respond to their story and you're like, oh my gosh, like what book are you reading? Like, I love that quote. Maybe they shared like a little quote from a book and they like posted on their story. Maybe you're going to ask them like, oh my gosh, what book are you reading? One of my goals this year is to read like 1 book a month. Okay. That's my goal this year. They're going to respond and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like it's this and this book. It's super, super good. You might be able to ask like, oh, what other books would you recommend? Like, I haven't been reading recently. Like, I don't really know what good books are out there. And then once they say that, like, it's kind of the conversation's kind of gonna die out, right? Like, unless you can somehow keep it up, like, and I'm not saying every single time the conversation's gonna die out. Like, every single conversation is so different, right? Like, you might have people that you like really connect with and you have a really genuine conversation and that's super, super awesome. But say, for example, the conversation dies out because it's like, oh, these are the books that I recommend. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's like, how do you continue on the conversation, right? So From there, this is kind of like the message that Aspen would send once the conversation dies out a little bit more. It says, I'm going to kind of be upfront here, but to be honest, you're dominating social media and you're absolutely someone I could see myself working with. And then, like I said, this is Aspen's message. So this is what she says. She says, for the last 2.5 years, I've been mentoring aspiring influencers on how to grow and monetize their page while building their brand. So I'm always seeking out other ambitious women who are looking to add a new stream of income to their lives. I couldn't not ask if you have ever thought about making money from social media. So that's the message that she uses. So there we go. That is 4 examples of people. 3 of them are on our team. One of the other girls is an SED, of how completely different it can be just doing 3-2-1. So basically what I wanted you guys to take away from this call is that everyone does 3-2-1s differently, and you have to find what works best for you and what aligns with your goals. For example, like I said, if you're looking to gain market partners from 3-2-1s, you should probably be pitching the business, whether that's straight up pitching the business right out of the block or trying to build a relationship and then pitching the business. Or maybe it's simply like me, trying to bring people to your page, gaining followers basically. And so as you're doing 3-2-1s, you're just making those connections to bring people to your page. Awesome. You have to think about what your goals are and how you're going to achieve those goals and what method you're going to use to achieve those goals. The last thing that I would leave you with is that 3-2-1s are not something that you should be doing day one of your business. Why? Because you have people in your warm and your hot market that you need to be reaching out to, you guys. And Sierra and I are going to hit really, really hard on that tonight. So I'm not going to be talking too much about what your warm and your hot market. We have a call at, oh gosh, I think it's 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Let me double check real quick, just for anyone who's on this call. Let's see. Yeah, so 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So hop on that call. We're going to talk about all hot market, everything like that. But don't be doing 3-2-1s on your first day of the business, you guys. You have to reach out to your 100s list. You have to reach out to your 10 best and your 10 easiest. I know it's scary. Believe me, I've been there. I've done that. I still do it. I'm still reaching out to people. I'm still following up with family members and friends. I've been in the business for over a year now, and it still terrifies me. But you have to do it. Why? Because it's so much easier to talk to your mom and screw up everything and have no idea what you're talking about than talking to a stranger and you're like, oh my gosh, I literally have no idea what I'm even talking about, right? Like, that stranger is probably going to judge you and probably not going to purchase from you, but your mom, of course, she's going to support you, right? So don't be so afraid to pitch to your family and friends that you don't, because your business is going to sorely, severely hurt from that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. The reason being is because your friends and your family are going to be the ones that support you. I'm not saying that you have to beg them for money, but you have to reach out to them. It's not only going to help you get your first few customers and maybe even your first few business partners, but it's going to help you be comfortable enough so that when strangers do start asking you about the products and responding to your polls on Instagram, you're very comfortable. Maybe not very comfortable, but you're more comfortable than you were when you hadn't talked to anyone, talking to that stranger, right? So that's why we have you do it. It's not because we want you to beg your parents for money. It's not because we want you to beg your best friend to join the business. It's literally because it gives you experience, and that experience is going to help you so much in your business. Obviously, when you join, all of you guys know that it's impossible for you to know everything, right? It's impossible for you to know how to overcome objections. It's impossible for you to know how to answer every single question the best way that you can possibly answer it, right? So as you're talking to people, you're learning, and it's best to learn on the people that you know who are not going to judge you. So please, 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 please reach out to your warm and your hot market before you start doing cold market stuff. Yes, it's important to like be building your brand and be building what am I trying to say? Be building your social media. And I'm not saying like you can't be doing 3-2-1s when you start your business, but your main focus should be on reaching out to your warm and your hot market, and you know so many people. So that should take you like months and months and months. Like, you know so many people, and especially if you're following up with those people, it's going to take up a lot of your time. I think that the biggest example of like talking to your warm and your hot market is Tiana, and also Maddie. Maddie and Tiana are blowing up like the last 2 weeks. Why? Because they're talking to their warm and their hot market. It's not because they're doing 3-2-1s and they're gaining market partners. It's not because they have ads out on Instagram. It's literally because they're talking to their warm and their hot market. Okay. It's not some secret sauce that you're missing out on. It's literally because they're talking to their warm and their hot market, and they're just getting out of their comfort zone and doing it. Okay. So that's all I have. Last, I'll repeat this one more time. Basically the thing that I wanted you to take away from this call is that your cold market is very important. Focus on your warm and your hot market first, and then focus on your 3-2-1s, and find a method that works for you and works for the goals that you are trying to hit. It's going to be different for every single person. And if you're listening to this and you're like, I literally have no idea which method would be best for me or where to even start with 3-2-1s, please reach out to me. I've listened to hundreds of calls on cold market and 3-2-1s and all these things. I have so many different methods for you. So if you're like, I have been doing something that's similar to you, but it's not working, but I still want to like do something similar, we can switch up like something so simple that will be a game changer for you. Okay. So that's all I have. I just wanted this to be super, super quick. This is recorded, so it's going to be in the YouTube page. If you want to like go back and listen to it again, but that's basically it. Also, if you want the scripts that I had shared, whether that was Megan's script or Aspen's script, feel free to reach out to me. I can send you over those scripts. Listen to Sarah Hill's call that I sent in the little chat. Because if you are cold messaging, you need to be prideful about your business, is basically what she's talking about. And being prideful about your business is taking the time to get to know the person that you're going to cold message before you cold message them. I'm sure we've all gotten those messages from people who literally didn't even take the time to get to know us. And you're like, I'm already with Monat. And that's why she was having this conversation, is because someone messaged her about joining Monat, and she's an SED. And she wasn't like trying to be rude about it or anything, but she was just basically just saying like, have pride in your business and take the time to get to know someone before you're pitching them with the business. But yeah, so listen to that call. And then if you are wanting Jacqueline's message, I didn't write it down, but you can find it in the Evolve or Remain Facebook group page. Like I said, it's more towards the end of her call that she kicked off the page with. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, but please be on the hot market call tonight if possible. I think that we will record it, but please be on there just in case you have any questions. It's always so much better to be there live, and I just feel like you just learn so much more when you're just there and being interactive as well. So that's all I have. Let's go out and kill it. The times are 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So Tavia, for you, I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Love you guys. Bye.